Hello and welcome back with another character Datafile. Today we're going to talk about the one and only...
But shut up, Wesley!
Well, as we all know, Wesley Crusher is always been the one person who actually saved the Enterprise multiple occasions, and well, that's not really true. Let's just talk about that later. So Wesley Crusher, born as a son of Beverly Crusher and Jack Crusher in 2348. When he was 5 years old, his father passed away in an away mission while he was serving in the USS Stargazer under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard. He had a really rough time digesting his father's passing, and obviously he had a rough time as well to actually forgive Captain Picard because of his father's death. Captain Picard felt a bit sad as well because of his involvement on Jack's Crusher death, as he was the one actually who made a choice, saving another crew member over Jack Crusher's life. Obviously later on Wesley forgave to Captain Picard, and they formed a really good friendship as well. When he was 15 years old, he and his mother Beverly Crusher being assigned to the USS Enterprise. Beverly, as we talked about in the last episode, became the first chief medical officer of the Enterprise, and obviously as her son Wesley was joining her in the Enterprise. He was 15 years old when he joined the ship, and Captain Picard wasn't really happy having Wesley, and well, Captain Picard wasn't really happy having kids on board the Enterprise, and especially with Wesley, because of the whole situation between Picard and the Crusher family, it was a bit awkward for Picard, but later on he became fond of the little boy. He actually inspired Wesley to join the Academy as well. As I said, there was always a misconception as Wesley saved the Enterprise in multiple occasions. Obviously, he being the smart guy and a smart young kid in the Enterprise, he actually saved the Enterprise only once in the episode Naked Now, when the Enterprise was facing a collision with a stellar core fragment. Wesley actually figured out to change the tractor beam into a repulse beam, so they actually were able to throw the Tsiolkovsky just front of the fragment, so they saved some time while Data was putting back the isolinear chips into the computer core. And on the other side of the record, actually, he almost destroyed the Enterprise in the episode Evolution from season 3, when he actually developed some artificial intelligence and put them into nanites, and the nanites basically almost destroyed the Enterprise until they figured out a way how to actually stop them and go and do a negotiation with. Despite the fact, and I thought the same at the beginning, Wesley was the only one who actually saved the Enterprise in multiple occasions. That's only happened once, and he actually almost destroyed the Enterprise once, so he didn't do anything. In the episode Justice, he being saved from the Edo death sentence, while Captain Picard actually went against to the Prime Directive just to help him and to save him from death. Well, Wesley basically didn't do anything wrong, he didn't commit a crime, but obviously stepping to the grass, it was a crime, so, well, actually he broke into an arboretum or something because he was catching a ball. It was an accident, but in the world of the Edo, that considered as a crime, and every crime had the same conclusion, death. Actually, they saved him more than he saved the Enterprise. In the first year, when he was in the Enterprise, he encountered the Traveler as well, this interesting creature who actually been able to control and travel through time. He actually said Wesley is gifted with the interruption of time, so he was basically the 24th century equivalent of Mozart.
He is just a boy for now. He should be encouraged, but told none of this.
And realizing what the Traveler said about Wesley to Captain Picard, Captain Picard actually encouraged Wesley to learn, and he actually promoted him as an acting ensign, and he started to learn more about the systems of the ship, and obviously participating with the overall work of a Starfleet officer. He learned quite a lot in a few years as an active ensign, and he actually applied for the Academy as well. Unfortunately, a couple of times he didn't really make it, but he started 41263.4, he became an actual ensign, as Captain Picard realized he actually did a lot to order to serve the Enterprise and serve the ship, and he implemented a lot of work as well. So Captain Picard actually promoted him as a real ensign with all the privilege of the rank. So he remained on the Enterprise as an ensign for the following years until he joined the Academy. In the Academy, he was part of the Nova Squad just before he actually graduated. They've been practicing for a really unique maneuver, and basically that practicing caused the death of Joshua Albert. Wesley and Nicholas Logano, they try to cover the events, and they try to cover actually what happened really out there in space while they were practicing this maneuver, but Wesley and his conscience made him realize, okay, he had to face the consequences, so he actually told the truth to the trial, telling the real facts to the judge. He actually been punished to repeat the whole year in the Academy. Later on in 2370, he resigned from the Academy as a cadet, and he went back to the Enterprise to rejoin with his mother. In that time he actually encountered the Traveler again, and he realized his life actually more precious and more unique than just, you know, being in the academy. He didn't really feel himself really comfortable in the academy. So when he rejoined with the Traveler, he actually started to become the person who the Traveler thought he will be. Wesley leaving the academy and leaving the Starfleet way behind, that was basically the idea of Ronald D. Moore. They wanted to represent that person as well in the Star Trek universe, who not necessarily fit or destined to be a Starfleet officer. Obviously Starfleet is a really good thing to be in. Not everyone really the fond of, you know, getting that uniform and serve aboard the starship. Some people determined to do something else. And Wesley, having all his talents and described as the 24th century Mozart, and actually they gave him a different path. Something similar happened with Jake Sisko, but let's talk about when we actually got to Jake Sisko. Obviously the last time when we saw Wesley Crusher, it was in Star Trek Nemesis. This is an interesting fact actually, because when he was in the wedding of Riker and Troy, and he was wearing a Starfleet uniform. So thinking about that and why he left the academy and went away with the Traveler implies maybe he actually went back to the academy and he completed his studies. Although that's never been really confirmed and described, he just appeared at one time in the episode. He didn't even have a single talking role. On board the Enterprise he had multiple friends. He formed a really good friendship with Captain Picard, although Captain Picard served as a mentor as well, who inspired Wesley to join the academy and to learn more and more about different cultures and history and literature and basically everything that Captain Picard was really interested to. He also had a good friendship with William Riker, Geordi LaForge and Data, and even Guinan at some point. Wesley wasn't really the ladies person, but he had a couple of romances. He had a romantic relationship with Celia, the allosaurmorph creature, Aret, and Robin Leffler. A couple of backstory from Wesley Crusher. Originally they wanted Wesley to be a girl named Leslie Crusher. Originally they thought it would be nice actually to see a girl growing up in the Enterprise and see all her life actually developing and going along in her way. But later on they changed actually this aspect of the character and Leslie became Wesley. Wesley's character actually been hated over the season, mainly because he was quite annoying. Actually there was a poll that ranked all the annoying characters in the sci-fi history and sci-fi series and multiple sci-fi TV shows and movies, and basically Jar Jar Binks was just above Wesley Crusher. Jar Jar Binks was really annoying, but Wesley Crusher just behind Jar Jar Binks. That's really tells something. We have to think about the fact he was an inspiration for many kids. Actually, Will Wheaton said, and he stated, there were a lot of fans actually who went and walked up to him to different conventions, and he inspired a lot of young people to actually learn and grow and become a better person. So yeah, I think that was my character data files about Wesley Crusher. As I said, I didn't really like the character, but also I like the character, so he's kind of a neutral character for me. Obviously, there's one more thing that I have to talk about, and this is basically the phrase "shut up, Wesley." That being said, in the episode Data Lore, Wesley basically pointing out a couple of things about Data, and he knew actually Data wasn't Data, he was Lore, and he was talking too much, and Captain Picard said,
"Shut up, Wesley."
And later on in the episode, Dr. Crusher said as well.
Shut up, Wesley.
Although the Crusher moment didn't really made into a pop culture fact, the one that Picard said, "Shut up, Wesley," still is in the pop culture. So if you look up "Shut up, Wesley," you will get the Picard catchphrase "Shut up, Wesley." So please let me know in the comment section below what do you think about Wesley Crusher as a character in the Star Trek: The Next Generation, and obviously let me know what was your favorite or least favorite Wesley Crusher moment. As always, don't forget to like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to receive all the geekiness 2, 3 or even more times a week. And until next time, live long and prosper.